Today in the crypto space, we see the market quite hesitant. Bitcoin right around at 111,000, Ethereum right around that $4,600 mark. The rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, are looking pretty good, getting a nice bounce based on Ethereum's lead, up approximately 3%, and the rest of them, as you can see, showing a bit of green. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one project, the project that is at the bottom of the range and looking for an entry, and that project is called Aptos. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with the market. We can see that we're slowly climbing. The market cap is slowly climbing back to the $4 trillion mark. That's exactly what we want to see. Unfortunately, there was a moment in time where we did get a dip in volume. However, we are slowly climbing back up, and maybe in conjunction with the market cap, we can get above the $4 trillion mark and start to see this market recover. Last night on the Discord, I did make it very clear that I was going to be taking a few shots here, because ultimately you miss all the shots you don't take. And given all the bearishness on crypto Twitter, on X, and many other platforms, we are seeing that the market is overly bearish. In that case, we have a lot of herd mentality. And with that being said, we're going to notice that, basically max pain can be applied in this condition. So let's take a look at the overall market real quick. Let's see what's going on here with Bitcoin and the rest of the space. Bitcoin dipping down. However, we're getting a bit of relief to the upside. It's Ethereum right now that's showing a little bit more strength than the rest. However, you can see a lot of the altcoins reacting to Ethereum's bullishness. However, Ethereum didn't break to the previous high yet. We're still within a downtrend big picture, as you can see on this 1 hour fractal. XRP is doing great, and we have a few others that are getting nice bounces, like Solana and many others. Cardano got a nice bounce. As you can see, on average, the market is up approximately 3%, 4%. Some random anomalies like Hyperliquid is currently bouncing really hard. Very nice to see it break out and make that higher high on the market structure. And the question is, does the rest of the space do the same thing? Are we going to see the rest of the space follow suit? We have AVAX doing pretty good, waking up here, and we got many others like CRO, Kronos. If you're in the circle, you guys know that what's going on right now with a CRO is the fact is, Trump and Truth Social's partnership happening there, potentially looking pretty good for CRO. If you're into that, 30% bounce, which is beautiful. And as we continue going down, you see some like Monero looking okay. We got BitGet token looking okay, and many others, guys. So we're getting a bit of relief. As I mentioned yesterday on the Discord, by the way, the Discord is absolutely free, by the way. As I mentioned, when you see a lot of bearishness, I start to think, how many bears or how many individuals got into late shorts? And those late shorts are a perfect opportunity to cause a bit of pain. And this is what we could potentially be seeing in the next little while. But just understand that those scenarios also, in conjunction with the concept of short squeezes, and with the concept of the fact is that market manipulation should be at this moment at its peak, given the fact that if we continue to the upside here and we start to see bullish momentum continue in a bull run with an altcoin season, recoveries are quick, liquidations are quick, and obviously higher highs are very quick. So just be prepared that it could be possible that we see a full recovery in the market very soon. And that is why I said to myself, let's get in some bids just in case, guys. Near Protocol looking pretty good, guys. If you missed out on my video in the last while, go check it out, guys. I feel like it's a great opportunity to start seeing what Near Protocol is offering. And today's video is Aptos. Let's open this up in a new page. See if I can do that today. Opening a new tab. Ondo's another good recovery, and many others here doing pretty good. As you can see, nice bounces to the upside. I would say the average about 3 to 4%, which is nice. You know, look at render, beautiful. Solana play. We got Say up 6%. We got much green today. Pretty good. Pretty good here for the market for a nice little recovery. Maybe it's the beginning. Maybe it's the beginning of the recovery for the rest of the week, leading into the weekend. You never know. We might even get a green weekend. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts and price action and all that good stuff. Today's video obviously is on Aptos. So let's get right into Aptos. What is Aptos and what is Aptos has been doing in the last little while? At the end of the day, Aptos, you know, has been hanging around here, doing its thing at the bottom of the range. But as you can see, it is a larger cap, $3 trillion market cap, $3 billion market cap. It's quite large, fully diluted, and you can see that there's a little bit of more circulating supply or circulating supply that needs to come or reintroduced based on total supply. What we see here is that there's approximately 400 million tokens that still need to be issued, which means that there's quite a bit. Okay, we have to understand that, and ultimately the max supply is infinite, which is something that we need to consider given the fact that we are now in a territory where we're going to be relying on a burning mechanism. Okay, so that's that. Let's see what's going on with their socials lately. Let's see if we got anything on socials on Aptos. Money mover moves better on Aptos. Pretty good. Okay, Aptos is the layer 1 blockchain engineered to evolve. Okay, to evolve. Make your move on Aptos. Pretty cool. Okay, that's fine. Storage is broken. Big tech controls data. So right now it looks like they're trying to get into a data play. Web3 can't rely on Web2. That is very fair. Guys, you guys know that I'm a big believer and big proponent on projects that are trying to come out being a Web3 project without a backbone that is decentralized or has a deep in infrastructure. So I'm glad to see that they're, spearheading this. It ends now. Great. Let's see what they got here. We got Web3's first cloud grade infra by Jump, Aptos Labs, decentralized monetizable storage for data-rich apps. Good stuff here. Like, obviously, we want the decentralization also, not only from the tokenomics and the team and, based on the DAO and all of this, but we also want their tech, their backend to be decentralized, right? And this is a great way, to introduce that deep in protocol within the Aptos ecosystem. Hot by design, chain agnostic, incentivized. Pretty cool. I like that. This whole post right now gets me interested. Guys, do some research, watch the video, do a little bit of that research. Let's see what else they got here. This is cool. Let's see. Spoke with this. I don't know what that is. A bit of trading happening on Cube, which is okay, interesting to see. Live on Cube talking about Aptos, a major milestone for Panora Exchange and the Aptos ecosystem. So what is up with Panora? Super app and execution layer of Aptos. We've excited to announce that Panora Exchange has successfully closed the funding round. Okay, what are they up to here? It looks like a DeFi play. Fundraising announcement. Frictionless capital, led by Frictionless Capital. Cool stuff. So you can see they're very active. They got a lot happening here. Now through August 28th, join daily sessions, learn about this. There's a boot camp. There's a lot happening here. Aptos Collective. So the ecosystem is growing. You see that the community is buzzing, which is cool. We got lots of good things here talking about DeFi and decentralized DePIN and all of this kind of stuff. So pretty good stuff. All right, guys, let's take a look at some charts. Let's see what's going on here with Aptos. And obviously, you guys, know that a lot of these altcoins haven't caught their bids yet. We cover this every night. We talk about this every night. Others hasn't woken up. We know that from a chart perspective. Bitcoin dominance still on a slight downtrend. Bitcoin right now, is looking pretty good given that it's got a nice bounce of 1%, but it's Ethereum right now that is, the man of the match, right? And ultimately, could we start seeing, based on Ethereum's lead, seeing some of these larger caps finally leave their bottoms? As you can see, Aptos is at a bottom level, right? And what we have to understand is what we're really putting our vision on is the structure that is being formed at the bottom of the range, right around $4.42, right? If we can break above the previous tops and we can break through this volume gap, we start to develop a structure that changes from the previous, structure, which is lower lows and lower highs. We go sideways for a little bit. We can claim some divergence right into this level and start doing some good change of character where we start to see higher highs and higher lows above the 200 daily, and then eventually breaking these tops and flying through volume gaps and hunting liquidity at previous order blocks. That's basically what we were looking for. So what do we actually do here? Well, we got to understand that is if we see the price fall below $3.72, guys, things get a little hectic here for Aptos. The reality is that's a BOS, a break of structure to the downside, where a continuation is very, very likely. If that happens, as you can see, we'll start to enter the abyss of price action to the downside and start look for horizontal levels of support once again. And ultimately, it's not a good look. I do expect maybe a bit of market manipulation here. I could expect a bit of a sweep here and then continuation to the upside. This is all very possible. Generally speaking, we have to understand that this structure right now is pretty much the last line in the sand here for Aptos. And if it doesn't catch some bids at these moments, give or take around this level, guys, it's not looking good, not only for Aptos, but I would wonder why Aptos wouldn't be catching bids. Is there something else happening in the space that is causing that to happen, right? Like, is Ethereum dropping? Is Bitcoin dropping? Is there some FUD? Is there a swan event of some sort, an orange one or a black one? What kind of swan do we get? Who knows? Ultimately, what we should be looking at here is the risk to reward ratio, and the structure that is formed here is an ideal moment to take a shot, right? Because there's no other better place to take it than other than a position of strength, which is at a bottom level where you can defend yourself if the price decides to come down and sweep lows and break down. Who knows how low we go, right? So that's what I look at. Structurally speaking, we're sound. It looks good. I would be taking shots here. Why not? As you can see, momentum, as a momentum trader, guys, I focus a lot on momentum. And if you're interested in this oscillator, I got links in the description. It's called Synergy Signal. As you can see, as we are coming down, so is the momentum. It is downtrending. I don't see any major signs of divergence at the current moment, even if it's bullish. We do come down at this level and hesitate, kind of go choppy here. On the 4-day, we might consolidate a little bit of this, and we can see that we kind of bottomed out a little bit, and we are tapering to the upside, which is this is why I like to kind of look at the 4-day when I see a lot of consolidation and choppy price action, because we could be seeing a micro style price action, but when you zoom out on higher time frames, you start to see bigger pictures, right? And you can see bigger pictures. This impulsive move was strong, but look how weak the next impulsive move was, to the point that it didn't make a lower, closed candles lower than the previous, right? To the point that we are making divergence here on the 4-day, which is, pretty interesting. As you can see, lower lows on the price action, excluding the wicks. Let's make this a little bit more accurate, right? Excluding wicks and more or less, right? And then all of a sudden you can see that clearly the momentum is uptrending. So this is class A bullish divergence as we fall into this wedge. As you can see, we're falling nice and slowly. And as we get closer to the apex, once we start breaking these tops, it starts to look like a change of character. So keep an eye on this, guys, because Aptos is primed for entries at the bottom of the range. Good amount of volume here. As you can see, market participation is evident. And we also have some market participation right here, as you can see, because really, yes, there's a bit of volume here, but nothing in comparison to what's happening here at the bottom of the range. You got to ask yourself, what are these goons doing down here? Ultimately, there's volume. There's something happening here in the basement party, right? Something's happening here. And ultimately, you can see lots of trading action. And usually when you have this type of scenario, there's a bit of sell pressure, sure. But then eventually we break out and we reverse, and then we look for our entries as we confirm structural reversals. At the current moment, yes, it's still lower lows and lower highs, but because of the risk to reward, guys, at this current moment, it is an opportunity. Watch list material 100%. Okay, that's what I would be doing. Again, not financial advice, guys, but I'll be live tonight talking about crypto news and price action. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.